Hey guys, welcome to Star Wars Timeline Podcast. My name is Benjamin. Today I'd like to talk about managing expectation in Star Wars. I know as fans we feel very strongly about things. Some stories we really love, others we hate with passion. I wanted to take a look at why is that. And I also wanted to share a couple of my thoughts of why I feel this way and what helps me enjoy the franchise today. And I don't intend to say that I know exactly how you personally feel or that I know how to fix the franchise and make it all great for everybody. No, I just wanted to engage you in a meaningful conversation and to take a look at where the fandom and the franchise is at today. I would like to begin with this thought. We live in the world of streaming media. There's more Star Wars content coming our way than ever before. We have manga, we have comic books, adult novels, we have video game announcements, we have new shows coming up. In fact, this week we're having Star Wars Visions, later this year Mandalorian show, and so forth and so forth. It's so much to absorb. And while some fans may say, well, yes, give me all of that, I want more Star Wars, others begin to feel like they're being oversaturated with too much Star Wars, that it doesn't feel special anymore. And it's a valid sentiment. I would not disagree with that. But I would also like to mention that we as consumers have also more power than ever and more say than ever as subscribers to Disney Plus to make a choice of what stories to follow and not, what enjoy and what not to enjoy. There's just so much freedom to experience Star Wars the way that you personally want to. And you can find the special meaning in it for yourself, because I understand where a lot of these very strong impulses and thoughts come in. When next time you see somebody on Facebook going adamantly and quarreling with things about you, I understand where it's coming from. Star Wars always had a very meaningful and special place for us all. Sometimes it could be a family experience that you have watched Star Wars with your family on a special day like Christmas, and that's your thing. That's what you remember as a child. For others, it could have been that you saw it with your late dad or a family member, and that's what you remember them by. And that's how a piece of entertainment, a movie, becomes something that's so much more. It connects you with people that are no longer with us. For others, I've personally interacted with, Star Wars has taken them through many dark places in their lives, including myself. When my older brother, passed away, and I was reading these Star Wars Legends books, it really took me from really depressive and dark moments in life, and they helped me along the way. So let's get into the first segment, and I wanted to look at what is the problem today. Why does the franchise and the fandom feel so divided, and we're at each other's throats, and we're like, Star Wars is not what it used to be. It's not great anymore. Why can't we all united in loving Star Wars anymore? What's wrong with you guys? It's the legacy of George Lucas. We should all respect it and so forth. So I have a couple of thoughts here. I gotta say that just as before, since the Star Wars inception, we all were very different people. The Star Wars fans, we come from different walks of life, and we bring different expectations into Star Wars. That's why there is not any one single movie that can appeal to everybody. There's always things about Star Wars that other fans will love and someone else will not. For example, the original Star Wars movie, Episode 4. Some people grew up with it because it's the first original movie. More modern fans or younger generation of kids feel it's a little bit slower paced. It's all valid points. We all are looking for different things, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. And, as hard as filmmakers, including George Lucas, try to entertain us, they don't always succeed. You can't please everybody with your piece of work. Even Mona Lisa, I'm pretty sure somebody's just walking by and they're not feeling the painting. It's totally fine to do that. And I just wanted to make a quick comparison to the Star Wars prequels versus the Star Wars sequels, just to give you guys an idea of how fans were always the same and very vocal and very passionate about their fandom. For example, I remember going into theaters here in New York City on 42nd Street, and we have over 10 million people here in tri-state area, and a bunch of people are super excited. It's 1999. I'm graduating from high school. I'm going into college, and I'm going there to see Phantom Menace. You guys, if you were there and you remember those times, I don't need to read blogs about it or watch YouTube videos. I was there. The excitement was through the roof. It was off the charts. It was not even the sequel hype is comparable in any way to prequels. And of course, we all came out from the movie theaters divided. Some people, younger generation especially, loved the prequels. They loved it for what it is because they looked at it indiscriminately as a child would. What you see is what you get, and the kids are, either what was the pod race scene or Jar Jar or scary Darth Maul mask. Whatever it was, it connected with some audience. It didn't connect with the others. Now, the sequels come out from 2015, and we also, once again, bring a lot of expectations into it, only now we have a lot more social media platforms and interaction with other people, or I could jump on YouTube and record a quick video to say how I feel about Star Wars. So I feel like all of these tools and digital media around us just has given us more room to present our voice. But it has always been near, and I would argue that Star Wars fans are as passionate as we have always been since 1977. And when the sequels started coming out, guess what? They weren't unanimously beloved, and they weren't unanimously hated. I myself enjoy sequels, but I don't think they're perfect. Anyway, this is not a part of a conversation. The point I'm trying to make here is that we all feel differently because we are different people and because we're looking for different things. And I often see somebody make a comment like, well, the writing is not good, or the acting is not good in this particular movie. It is also a perspective. It's a point of view for somebody who's looking at prequels and say, well, hold on a second, maybe the actor directing wasn't on point, but I feel that they're telling a good story. That's how I'm going to enjoy those movies. So you see what I'm trying to say is it's how you look at the details, how you read between the lines, what makes Star Wars special for each and every one of them. So in that sense, nothing has changed, and fans have always been as vocal as they were before, only now we can all hear each other much more loudly because of social media. Another example could be not just the movies themselves, but even literature, Star Wars Expanded Universe. For example, a lot of people who for some reason don't like something like High Republic, because of they heard rumors or somebody read somebody's article that is some kind of social agendas in there, none of which is true. Actually, people actually sat down and read the books. They actually would understand what it's all about. But the point I'm trying to make here is that even back in the day with legends, which are for some reason today are portrayed as this immaculate, perfect, flawless entity because things were obviously better back in the day. Well, not exactly true. For example, Kevin J. Anderson's Jedi Academy trilogy is my favorite Star Wars books of all time. I mean, of all time, even by today's standards, which I enjoy all the canon books as well. Guess what? Even back in the day, there were a lot of Kevin J. Anderson haters. There's people who don't like his Dune novels, which, he also participates in that. He writes for that franchise. There's people who don't like any of his Star Wars novels. And Jedi Academy trilogy, by a lot of fans, including myself, is considered like, hey, I wish those were made into sequel movies. That's how special they are in the expanded universe. We don't have the same feelings or opinions about that. That's how it is. And, even with the original saga, when the original films were coming out, I, for example, saw them all as one movie. My dad brought them on VHS, 1987. I saw them, so I could never discriminate or look at it as different movies. So I don't have that point of reference. But for other fans, I've heard from a lot of original 1977 fans, and I saw there's actually YouTube documentaries about it, where when The Empire Strikes Back, which today is called the greatest Star Wars movie by many, many fans, a lot of people didn't like it. Not because it was good or not good a movie, but because the way that people felt about it. They felt confused about the plot twist in the end. They felt it was too dark, that it ends on a cliffhanger. People walked off from movie theaters pissed off. Can you imagine that? I can. You know why? Because I understand that we're all different. And I understand that you're not wrong to feel a certain way about sequels. And I'm not right. We all have... there is room for everyone's opinion. And I think we can all be immediately more calm and approach each other with respect if we understand that one aspect, that we're different people. We enjoy different things. And just because I don't like something, just because I don't like the Aftermath trilogy of new books from canon, it doesn't mean that somebody else won't. Just because you read a bad article of somebody bad-mouthing the High Republic, it doesn't mean that other people will not enjoy it who actually sat down and read the books. That's what I'm trying to say. That's part of the problem, is that people are trying to project their opinions and their feelings onto others. That, look, if you don't feel the same way I feel about prequel or the Phantom Menace, that was a heck of a job of a film, then you're stupid because you don't feel the same way I do. I don't think we should go about it this way. I think it alleviates a lot of pressure when we understand, like, okay, this is not for me. Let me instead redirect my attention and focus on somebody else because other fans might enjoy it. And this brings me to my second half of this podcast, is how I personally interact with the Star Wars franchise today and what helps me enjoy it, because I really do. I've became fan since I was like 7 or 8 years old, and since those days, I'm just as big of a fan as anyone else. Obviously, I had my disappointments. I saw the franchise go through its triumphs, like the recent The Bad Batch show, which I absolutely adore, I love. And I know there's a lot of fans who are on the fence about it. They thought there were a lot of fillers, there wasn't a lot of character development, so forth. It's totally fine. But I enjoy it. So let me share my thoughts and opinions. And I would especially love to interact with you guys and read your comments down in the section below. I'm not just trying to get clicks or follow audience. I want to talk to people. I want to understand, especially how the younger generation of Star Wars fans feels, because my connection to fandom is why I love Star Wars to this day. And let me start with this first thought. I would say it really helps me to embrace the fact that the saga is changing and evolving. George Lucas himself taught us when he sold the franchise, and he has a lot of these speeches, that it was a very tough thing for him to do, but things must move on. They never stay the same in life. And that's actually the content of the original saga itself. Things must evolve. You can't ever come home again. It's the way that the original trilogy, for example, is made and shot, and in the time frame and the cultural, historical place that it arrived at, it can never be replicated or replaced. You have to put up with that fact. And for me personally, when I do that, automatically I feel better. I'm like, okay, we have the original saga here. It will never be replicated again. Let's move on. Let's see what the franchise can offer us next. What kind of movies and explorations we can do. Something like the Mandalorian show, which try to do things differently. And I think it's something to commend Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, who are trying to tinker with the formula and do something different with it. It helps to understand that these changes that are coming to Star Wars, they reflect the culture of today, and that not everything is meant to be for you. Not every single piece of show, every episode, every book is tailored to your taste. Star Wars fandom has a lot of different people. Think about it globally. We have people in different parts of the world who have completely different point of view, who have different culture, the way you interact with your family or how you act socially outside with people. Different. So they will find something in Star Wars that you will not. And that's what a franchise should do, to bring people together, to bring elements into itself that are different and diverse. I think diversity is good in that kind of sense. Understanding and being compassionate that other people might like something that you don't, treating other people with respect will also help you, or it does help me. I don't intend to sound preachy here, but it helps me to understand other people who don't share my opinions and be positive about, like, okay, you feel this way? That's cool. That's fine with me. Another thing that I wanted to mention, another very, very important thought of what personally helps me enjoy the franchise, is that those of you guys who watch my YouTube know that I do Star Wars book reviews. That's how I actually started. I wanted to shed more light on Star Wars canon and Legends books. I enjoy both equally. But what I want to say here, this may sound controversial, but trust me, guys, I am not looking for controversy. It's all fiction. It's all fake. I like to use the words canon and legends respectively, only to make that distinction. So if you're a newcomer into the world of books of Star Wars, so you can orient yourself and you don't feel, confused. And I like to say, okay, this is a Legends book, this is a canon book. To me, it's all Star Wars. Yes, we have two different timelines now, and the stories don't converge. They go different, separate ways. Legends presents its own heroes and its own plot line, and canon is trying to do that differently. I don't look at it as new stuff trying to negate or erase the old stuff. That's simply not true, because we're having Star Wars Legends books by Disney or Lucasfilm, whatever you want to look at it, are still in print. They have been in print since 2015. Actually, Marvel Comics, what they have done is they cleaned up all the Dark Horse era comic books and they put them back in digital print. The awesome new physical hardcovers are coming out. That's the point I'm trying to make. It has never been forgotten. The new canon has not crossed out the old legends. I don't understand why people look at it this way. Maybe once again, you can give me your thoughts and share your feelings. Nobody's trying to say that legends never existed. What's the proof? The proof is that you're getting the Star Wars Legends with awesome new covers being reprinted today. And I'm being actually suckered into buying them again. I have the entire collection of Legends paperbacks. Guess what? I am buying them again because they're just so fun and cool looking. And I want to collect them all over again. And, you know, Disney and Lucasfilm and Marvel, they are giving us more tools and more opportunities to experience Legends. And I see it all as one huge canvas upon which storytellers are telling their stories. Only now they're saying, look, we had a very rich history of 40 plus years of storytelling. How can you squeeze in more stuff in there? Or maybe younger writers feel like, well, you know what, this is something that other older authors were doing, like, you know, Timothy Zahn or Michael Stackpole or Kevin J. Anderson or Karen Travis. And we don't want to impede on that. We don't want to change or alter what has been done because we're fans ourselves. Let's leave it where it is and let's try to create something new. Again, it's all coming back to what I mentioned earlier in my podcast, is that allowing ourselves, you know, opening our hearts to something that is new, fresh, exciting, and that it will not necessarily always cater to you or even succeed. You know, from a certain point of view, George Lucas himself, the creator of Star Wars, has failed with prequels. There's a lot of people that don't find them enjoyable movies or movies that represent the Star Wars franchise. Midichlorians, you know, that's what it is. And being receptive to change, I think, helped me a lot to embrace the prequels and enjoy them from Legends books and say, okay, I may not like these movies. And I'll be real with you guys for a second. For a very, very long time when I was in my 20s, I was a jaded hater of prequels. I was like, this is garbage. This is not Star Wars. What the heck is George Lucas smoking? I don't like this stuff. Nobody should like this stuff. You're not in your right mind if you think these are good movies. I changed my perspective. I came to actually enjoy watching Clone Wars, watching Revenge of the Sith, and enjoying it even more from the book's perspective when these characters in stories are getting flashed out and stuff like this. So you can always do that. Understanding that canon and legends are all part of something greater, a part of a storytelling that constantly shifts and evolves. And the last thing that I wanted to mention in this podcast is that what helps me, the best way to enjoy Star Wars today, is concentrate on the things that you love. You know, there's always will be poor content. There was always will be a point at which an episode of a show doesn't succeed. Even Mandalorian, which is universally praised, has episodes that people are like, huh? The episode where Fennec Shand shows up, you know, with that bootlegged Han Solo young bounty hunter. A lot of people don't like it. Or the one with the spiders in the cave. People feel like it's a fetch quest from a video game. You know, it doesn't appeal to them. That's fine. You know, it's something that we should not concentrate on if you don't enjoy it. Highlighting the fact that it's bad and then going to the Facebook groups and talking with other fans, you know, uniting in these hate groups and saying how you hate Star Wars. It feels bad. I can't imagine anyone feeling great about talking crap about Star Wars for like hours and hours and hours, and then going back to their confines of the room, because sometimes we feel insecure, and, you know, myself included. Sometimes we feel alone, you know, and sometimes you need to vent. I can't imagine how it feels great coming back from a rant or from a quarrel and fight somebody online and call people names because Star Wars is not what it used to be, and you're stupid because you don't understand that Disney is trying to rob us of the legacy of the Star. These are not good, happy thoughts. I can't imagine how they make you feel good. If they do, I'm sorry to say there's something dysfunctional, and I don't mean to insult you. It's something is wrong with you if you feel that talking bad about people, calling people names, empowers you in any way. That's a very insecure way of behaving, and I don't think it's worthy of any franchise, least of all Star Wars. That's not what, once again, if you come back to the creator, to George Lucas, that's not the lesson he was trying to teach in his stories. He was trying to teach us that we should be respectful and cognitive of others people's feelings and come together in enjoying all of this stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. On the other hand, celebrating things that we like. For example, I read from the High Republic. I absolutely love this stuff. Going on and talking about it with other fans feels great. If you don't enjoy Star Wars sequel movies because they didn't, deliver the story that you wanted, but you love Mandalorian, go and talk about that. If, let's say, the Bad Batch show came out and you loved 2-3 episodes from that, animation perspective with some action points, talk about that. We have a new show coming this week, Star Wars Visions. If you find an episode that is so awkward and silly that it made you laugh, it's not necessarily a serious Star Wars story, but it made you laugh for some reason, celebrate that. Concentrate on that. For me, it's always been pick and choose. I always was the master of my Star Wars fandom. I always decided what's a good story, what's real Star Wars, and what's not. Even in Legends, there's certain books that I read, I was like, huh? When I read Splinter of the Mind's Eye, a book by Alan Dean Foster that everybody was hyping up for me, I didn't like it one bit. When I read Kenobi, the book that was hyped up as this space western where we finally focus on Obi-Wan Kenobi raising Luke on Tatooine, that book didn't deliver at all. Guess what? I didn't dwell on it. I didn't write a 25-page report and post it on some blog that how, Star Wars is ruined now because a book didn't deliver the story that I wanted. Doesn't help. What really helps is like, hey, I like this book, I like this episode, I like this show, I like this video game, but I wish it was done a little bit differently. Like, I know, for example, a lot of fans who enjoy the Jedi Fallen Order video game for its story. Some fans are on the fence about this soul-like gameplay style and respawning enemies, and they felt like, I don't know, I felt confused. I put the game on easy just so I could experience the story. And that's a perfect example how we can enjoy Star Wars today. We can discard things that we don't necessarily like, because I don't think anybody should feel entitled or empowered. Like, hey, if I don't like something, I should pound my fist and I should go and change it. Other people like it. I like the gameplay in that very same game that I'm talking about. Why not let somebody else enjoy something that you don't? Concentrate on things that you like. And that's my message today, guys. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And once again, I would love to interact with you. This was the whole purpose of me recording on this and sharing my thoughts, because I want to understand how other people feel. Why do they feel so strongly about certain things? Are they happy? Are you guys unhappy? And why? I would love to hear it all. Once again, thank you so much for watching my videos, for supporting my channel. If you're new here, you would like to see more cool videos that I do, hit that subscribe, hit the bell button. I would really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.